family, I want you guys to know, there's a lot of men looking for their wifey. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. A lot of men looking for their wifey. One thing I want to preface this list by, I think the world has done a really good job of trying to make men not want to get married, which I think is criminal. It's criminal. Because I think when marriage is done well, I'm not saying all marriages are right. I think a lot of times marriage is not done well because we're choosing from our wisdom instead of relying upon godly wisdom. And we're not letting God prepare us. We just say we want to get married and we just go get married instead of, allowing God to process us to be ready for marriage, because marriage is one of the biggest callings that we have, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever been in a position where I really feel like I was developed to be a wife. I really feel like God has been developing me over the years. But I think I had to go through a process. And I didn't even know that existed. I don't think a lot of people know that existed. But when God calls you to be a wife or God calls you to be a husband, he's going to take you through a process. That's just what it is. Because it's one of the biggest callings. Your family is your first ministry. Your family is your legacy. Your family is your lineage. And a lot of men are opting out of marriage thinking like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so scared of this. And let me tell you something. Outside of, the community, certain communities, people are encouraged to get married. It's only certain communities where they're not encouraging marriage. They're not encouraging two-parent households. They're not encouraging those things. And why is that? Because marriage is power. I don't care whether it's, we talk about somebody who's being a president versus somebody who's going to be a senator, being in politics, whether they're going to be a pastor, whether they're going to be a CEO of a company, whether they're going to be the face of the league. They're going to choose somebody who's married. They're going to choose a family man. I don't care. I do not care what if you are more marketable, you're going to be promoted more. You live longer, typically. That's not all situations, but typically men that are married live longer. Ray Cox, Sam, relax. Stop listening to YouTube as your method of gaining information. Guys, I can tell when social media is parenting you because you regurgitate what you hear versus actually figuring out the facts for yourself. We have to stop the sheep mentality, family. It is literally destroying our society. We just listen to what somebody says and we run around like it's fact. It's not fact. It's not fact. Y'all are literally running around. Yes, I've heard that too. I saw the YouTube video that said that. I heard that. But I also know statistics. I also know Google. I also know those things. And we're not paying attention to that. We're watching what we see on social media and we think that that's law, that's gospel, that's everything. No, there's an agenda. There is an agenda. And I feel very passionate about that because I hear so many men saying the same thing. They say the same. I'm like, okay, I know who you listen to. It be the men that be like, no, I want to get married. Those are the ones I respect because at least they got their own opinion. I know they think for themselves. I want to get married. I want to do it the right way next time. I feel that. I hear that. But when I hear the same opinion from a man in different states saying the same thing because of the same content creator that influenced you to say it, we've got to be above the influence, y'all. We've got to do our own research. I'm sorry, y'all. That really just bothers me. We cannot, guys, please don't do this to yourself. Oh my gosh. You're being taken out of your position. Your position of power is literally taken from you. It is being taken from you. And you just over here yeah, it's my idea. No, it's not your idea. It's from the music you listen to. It's from the social media you ingest. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from you. And some of us have been hurt in divorces. I know. But I know most people can also say, you know what, I probably should have done things a little different. You got to follow your own path in this life. A man who finds a wife finds favor with the Lord. You're literally taking yourself out of favor. You're taking yourself out of power. You're taking yourself out of authority. You literally are taking yourself out of your kingship by deciding to say, I don't want covenant. I don't want covenant, so I'm taking myself out of position. I want to live this life that is not condoned by God. Okay, do that. But you are taking yourself out of godly position. Period. That's what I believe. I actually just had a conversation with a man, and I said to him, he's like, I never looked at marriage the way you describe it. And I said, well, who have you been listening to? Men that are secretly married, but have a platform encouraging men not to get married. Why? Because there's hurt men that want to hear that, and they make money from that. Or those same men are facing charges currently that might have them incarcerated for the rest of their lives. That is where we're getting our information, family. No. Be above the influence. All right? Be above the influence. Because obviously their advice has not worked. It's not working. Men are describing the secret or the silent pandemic for men is loneliness. Loneliness. There's a movement for men to get married again with men because of this silent pandemic, because men are struggling with not having the connection they literally were given from the time they were created. Adam, when God created Adam, he said it is not good for man to be alone. And that is why men are experiencing depression, loneliness. They're unaliving themselves. Men are really struggling mentally because of this toxic narrative that keeps them out of their position. Even God said it wasn't good for you to be alone. Now we're doing it a broken way, and we're like, oh, the dating pool is this, the dating pool is that. Yeah, because we created that. There's a deeper agenda going on, family, and I'm sorry I'm so passionate about it, but I just feel like, listen, here's the thing. I'm going to get married. Say I'm going to be married. So really, this passion isn't about me, because I know I'm going to be. This passion is about our society and the brokenness that I see within it. Because it's not just women that I'm concerned about. It's men too. Because men are, just like women are struggling with mental health issues on a different level, just like men. And we see it in our music. I can't wait for a man to make a rap song about how beautiful it is to be married. So I listened. I heard married to his woman, his Princess Jasmine. Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait for a man to make a song about that. I can't wait to see that type of situation. And when we do see it in society, we prop it up, especially Black and brown community, because like the token relationships. No, let's make it the norm. They want us to be in broken homes. They want us to be broken. That is what they want. And instead of being above that cycle, we perpetuate the cycle. And then we wonder why our community is so broken. We wonder why we're in this crabs in a barrel mentality. All right, let me stop. I'm sorry, God. It just bothers me. All right, y'all. Let's get into how you identify a wife, because God even said it is not good for man to be alone. It is not good for man to be alone. So let's get into it, y'all. For those who are looking for their rib, if you're not looking for their rib, you may one day want to look for their rib. And so, you may think you found your rib. You might have found the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh. You might have already done it. So I'm going to give you a list to know if you have. All right. And ladies, if you are single and you're watching the live, I pray that this encourages you, because a lot of us want husbands, but we're not wives. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become Framily, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my Framily today.